Hi, this is Dr. Grande. I hope you find this video useful. If that's the case, please like it and subscribe to my channel. And as always, thanks for watching. So we have this plan with kind of removing alcohol from the house and blocking access to it, at least during the week, and the walking, the work. And I remember before you were talking about how you couldn't walk at night because of the neighborhood, and also it's dark when you get home. I'm wondering if any other form of exercise could give you a similar feeling as the walking does.
I don't know, like, it probably would, but I just don't really like to do anything else.
Like walking's what you like to do?
Yeah, like I just feel like an idiot if I do something in my house, you know what I mean, like by myself. It just feels weird. I can't really afford like a gym membership or anything like that, so.
Alright, well, just an idea. Like maybe something could give you that same effect. If you can get the walking in lunch, that would certainly be a step in the right direction for you.
Maybe I'll start trying to do it after my work program, like at noon when I would usually have lunch at a regular job.
Kind of get things started in advance of the full-time job. Alright. So, do you feel like today's session has been helpful as you kind of struggle with these various problems?
Yeah, I do. Like, I feel like there's a little bit of hope. And I wasn't really feeling like that when I first came in, so that's a good thing.
Before we wrap up today, I hope I can see you next week. We schedule something for next week. I wanted to revisit the core belief that you had brought up earlier. And we kind of know moving forward in terms of the walking and the conversation with a boyfriend, but I want to touch on the core belief. How much do you believe that statement that you are a loser, that core belief?
I guess like a good amount, not too much. Like I feel better about it right now because I have like a plan of what to do.
So you believe it partially, but not all the way.
Yeah.
Somewhere in the middle. Would it be meaningful in some way for you to know that I don't believe it at all? I believe that you believe it, but I don't believe you're a loser at all.
No.
I don't believe it. I can appreciate how these beliefs form and the consequences they have, and it's normal for people to feel that way. But I don't think you're a loser.
Thank you.
Actually, I think you have quite a few strengths and positive characteristics. And I'm wondering if you don't really give yourself full credit for that. And that might be part of what's going on. I think you're willing to see the negative side, and maybe you're missing what somebody on the outside like me can see.
Maybe.
So maybe one other thing you can consider this week is that you may be not completely correct in this negative thinking, that there are other perspectives that could be accurate. Right?
Yeah.
That you're not a loser, and that's just what you've come to believe because of all these various things you've been exposed to in your life, and different contributions could be made to that way of thinking. But I would challenge it. Like, I would ask you this week to challenge that core belief. Right? The tendency, which I can appreciate, is to just believe it. Right? It comes up, it says to you you're a loser. It's easy just to say, well, that must be true, and walk away. But I think that what I would ask you to do is stand up to it and challenge that.
How do I do that?
It's a good question. I think that one way is when you're aware of a thought that's tied directly to that core belief. Like when you have a thought and you realize this is really coming from the I'm a loser core belief. That we talked about that self-talk.
Mm-hmm.
You apply that, and we can work in session to create those. You apply that right at that moment, and you're assertive in that self-statement.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. You're standing up to it by not only reciting the self-talk, but by really investing and believing in the self-talk. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
And I would look forward to building with you, building more of these adaptive responses, self-talk, that you can use. So one way to get started with this could be to identify those thoughts I was just talking about. Write them down and bring them in.
Kind of like when I think that I can't work full time, I'm not going to be successful, and that I can't support myself.
Yeah, all those thoughts really seem to tie back to that core belief.
Yeah, I guess I never really thought about it like that.
So confront them as you see fit, as best you can, but also write them down and bring them in, and let's work through them.
Okay.
I'm glad you brought that up. That's a really great question, and kind of moves to an important point, that we need to have a strategy going forward that you can kind of collect the thoughts that you need to dispute, so we can work out how to dispute them in session.
Okay.
But also in the moment, I think you can try to confront them. Right? So I want you to feel encouraged and empowered to confront them in the moment, but also to bring them in, and we can refine those strategies. Right? So try to stay on the offensive when it comes to those thoughts. Right?
Okay.
They're not accurate. They're not helpful, and you have the strength and the abilities to overcome this. Right? So kind of let that theme help you construct those thoughts in between sessions.
Okay.
All right? Does that seem to make sense?
Yeah.
Good. I really appreciate you coming in today and spending this time with me.
Thank you.
I'm glad that it was somewhat helpful for you. And we'll get you scheduled for next week, and we'll pick things up there, and we'll just keep moving forward.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks.